Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Miftah Faris. I'm the member of government from Jambi University. And I totally agree with our motions today that this House believes that feminist movement should aggressively oppose the K-pop industry. Before I jump to my arguments, I'd like to say a few things about the rebuttals of the teams on the opposition side. So earlier, the leader of opposition have already said that there are various beauty standards that has been around in Korea, and they are all innovative. That's actually not really true. In fact, there are a lot of different reasons why they're in Korea. There's only one beauty standard. When you say it about various beauty standards, you might refer to just the fashions, the way they innovate a lot of fashions, the way they decorate a lot of their fashions, and not just the overall looks. Because when it comes to looks, not only just fashions, but also their face, their skin tone, and a lot of things, their hair, and a lot of things. It doesn't make sense to just say they're being innovative. Well, there are also a statement of leader oppositions that referring to the Western sides of the beauty standard and the Korean side of the beauty standard, and they think, and you say that it also happened in the Western standard. This is Western standard, and there's the Asian versions, the Korean versions, and that sort of complement the both sides of the world, that there are few different standards. But you also said you actually have a contrastive statement, because when you said there are similar characteristics of the beauty standard of Korean and Western, that makes you say that this actually a similar beauty standard. It means that there is only one beauty standard. And I'd like to come to my arguments. So our motions today, I'd like to say it again, that this House believes that feminist movement should aggressively oppose the K-pop industry. So let's take a look about K-pop industry. What happens there? Well, in the K-pop industry, there's a lot of things going on. Well, in order to be someone, in order for someone to have that standard, they've gone through some process, and that makes a lot of concern from the feminists, because one of the concerns is that there already has a diverse community. Even in Korea itself, there's a lot of people who actually have gained more fat, people are skinny, people are fat. They got into this process of human factory in the K-pop industry, turned into something that is to fit into this one beauty standard that actually creates non-ethical doings. Because for some reasons, if you think about it, when they have diverse community, why can't they just use it? Why they have to be in that process? Why they have to do plastic surgery? Why they have to lose their weight? And why they have to do certain things? Why they cannot just be themselves in that K-pop industry? That's what makes the feminists concerned. And my second argument is that K-pop industry right now on current situations has on the top of the chains an old industry, entertainment and music. Because K-pop industry is like, they gone through so much aspect of life. They're like, for example, music videos, they just look like movies. A lot of people who like artistic things. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of people who like K-pop industry. This means that there's a huge community that follows these certain things. When one rulers, the people behind this industry create certain rules, certain things that makes people, a lot of people, half of the populations probably. I mean, I think some of these people in this room is actually K-pop fans. And when these persons behind this industry create these rules of beauty standards, of certain behaviors that need to be followed, and people from across the globe will follow it because that's what they believe and that's what they follow because they are in this community. So ladies and gentlemen, I believe that feminist movement should aggressively oppose this K-pop industry. I believe in that. Thank you.
We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce myself. My name is Fadi Azharan from the University of Jambi. And today I will do my role as the government whip. Today we're having the motion of this House believes that feminist movement should aggressively oppose the K-pop industry. And we're stating our great favor of this motion. Before moving on to my arguments, I would like to provide several rebuttals from the opposition side. First of all, the leader of the opposition quite conspicuously states something leads more to like the race, which I consider as not necessarily have to be done. And then secondly, the opposition team really stated that this is all about supply and demand. So the more the society or the communities are desiring for the beauty standards, so the industry will give them more to it. But however, we can see the impact, the immense impact of this K-pop industry. For example, like my government member has already stated that this K-pop industry, which is undeniably can be considered as a place or agency that produces almost identical people, idols, actors and actresses regarding the beauty standards. You can see it like so. This is something that make people or the viewer really try to be fanatic. They glorify those kind of beauty standards that their idols have, which can lead to, oh, since I have this idol as my role model, then I need to be them because this is what considered as beautiful. While we already know that in feminist movement, this feminist movement really encourages and empowers women about equality, about self-acceptance, about how we accept who we are, especially for its physical appearance that is obviously has become the matter in this K-pop industry and K-pop wave. Like K-pop industry indisputably has really spotlighted about the physical appearance that their idols and actresses and actors have. So, as I said before, that it can really immensely lead to the glorification and then significant change that they really need to do. For example, we can see from lots of news, whether it's on the internet or on newspaper, lots of, especially for women trainees there, they need to be at certain body weight. They need to starve themselves. They need to even undergo like several plastic surgeries. Is that what we want to do? Is that the society desires? So that's our rebuttal for all of those. And as my role today is the government whip, I will conclude the points that the government team has already claimed. Firstly, why the feminist movement should aggressively oppose the K-pop industry. First of all, we don't want people, especially women in this matter, to glorify the beauty standards that have been widely spread and introduced by this K-pop industry. And then secondly, we want more friendly policies by the government, so they don't really need to pay attention for the physical appearance. So, for example, like in recruiting someone. And then we also want to initiate diverse movement allies, so it doesn't only come from the K-pop community, but with the movement allies, we can really dim the great impact of the K-pop wave that has been brought, which we consider we need to oppose it aggressively. So, as conclusion, we believe that by doing this, by opposing the K-pop industry and the K-pop wave in general aggressively, we hope that this community can be really, for example, first of all, can be more open-minded with the wider beauty standards. And then we also don't want our communities to glorify a certain beauty standard because of their idols, because we know that, especially in Indonesia, we have been infected with the great K-pop fever. Everyone is in love with K-pop. So that's all from me. Thank you. Good afternoon.